it goes. You'll see how far down it goes and then goes way up. This is the biggest wolf pen we have. The other one's about 3 to 3.5 acres. There's still a lot of room for a pair of wolves. Okay.
Oh, he's trying to howl.
So that leads me to the next question. Do you guys want to get them to howl?
Yes.
Anna, don't be stupid.
Really?
They don't sound happy.
Why don't you go to the front so you can,
Why'd you do that?
What are you gonna do? Howl again?
They don't sound happy. He stopped as soon as he started laughing. He's like,
This is This is really. We have to. Thank you guys.
cute.
That's the top part of a skull. So it's the top jaw there.
No, that's decoration.
Natural sun bleaching.
Alright, let me get a picture of you with the wolves for
Like he zips around all over the place. He doesn't sit still like this. He'll go up and he'll attack a piece of food and shake it and then go to the next one and shake it. He's always moving. He never really stops. That's kind of what you see for traditional coyotes. But what I like to tell everybody here is having a lot of the same kind of animal, whether it's the red foxes, the wolves, coyotes, you get to see a bunch of different personalities too. Yep. So we have Calm, we have wants to come up and see people, and then his partner, who is in the back there, doesn't want to come up, doesn't want to see people. We see her occasionally, and as long as she looks like she's fine and everything, and we don't go and bother and try to force her up on tours. That's kind of the ongoing thing here, like we saw with the two rehab foxes up there. Mocha, the new fox, we don't try to force them out to do anything. So as long as the animal's happy, as long as they're healthy, then we're happy. We won't force the issue. There's a coyote pen down there that probably won't see anything, and that's because she just doesn't like to come up at all. She doesn't like people. These guys are excellent scavengers. So these are the size of the treat I'm throwing in. They're real tiny. He'll see 1 or 2 of them, and then he's gonna find the rest of them by smell alone. They have a pretty incredible sense of smell. He found one already. So the game that I can sometimes get the 2 a little further down to play is I'll throw like a bone in to get them to turn around, and I'll throw 2 of those little treats down, and they can usually find them within a minute just from sense of smell. They won't see it all where they land, but incredible sense of smell again. Scavengers, opportunists. They get blamed for a lot of chicken deaths. It's not always these guys. It's not always the foxes. The raccoons. The raccoons are notorious for wiping out entire coops. Because what the coyotes and foxes like to do, and again, not always, but what they like to do is go in, take one, and you come outside later and you're down a chicken. And you had 12, you're down to 11. Where to go? And that's probably one of these guys, the foxes and coyotes. The raccoons can't see for crap. They go in, they get their little grabby hands going, and they get a hold of whatever touches their hand, and then they'll kill it, and it works the other way. You'll have a bunch of dead chickens and one's missing. They'll kill everything they can get their hands on, and they leave with one. So these guys get blamed for a lot of it, and the foxes get blamed for a lot of it. It's the raccoons. I like raccoons a lot too, but I think they frame and set up everybody. And Cherokee. We'll go see Fang now.
He's pretty nice.
But when I was delivering for Amazon in Cincinnati, I saw urban deer and urban coyotes. So we just push into their areas and then they end up coming in. There were people lined up in the street taking pictures of a deer that was standing in the middle of the road in Cincinnati. Now in hanging out for tours. They're also the only two that we ever see play. So this kind of open area here on the left, pretty routinely will come out here and they'll be playing and chasing each other around and doing play bites and stuff. They're really neat to see doing that because we don't get to see any of the other ones do that. And they're around the same age too, so it's not an age thing, it's just personality wise. Or these two just get along better with each other. Get them some snacks because I've been slacking with the snacks lately. So you also see all the bones from the other stuff, and there's a bit of deer leg in there. We have a ton of vultures in the area. The vultures like to play the game of can I get it? They'll go in there and they'll try to get, they usually go for the little pieces first. So like if we have chicken tenderloins or like chicken breasts, they'll throw in there. Little bits of deer meat or stew meat gets donated a lot. They'll run in there and they'll try to get that and get out. The coyotes don't go after the vultures quite as much, but the wolves do. So the wolves have gotten, those two specifically, have gotten probably a half dozen vultures in the last 2 or 3 months.
Dang.
The vultures get real brave and then they get chomped. But they're but you can
Nothing goes through the cage.
no fingers.
Look at how Jess is doing it.
See how big they are at 11 months old?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at the size of their paws and the muzzles on them.
That's your cage, Jackie.
Now, they're younger, they're still learning how to howl, but you guys can try to get them to howl too.
What was that?
They're starting to fill up more. They were really lumpy and looked super goofy. Their coordination was almost non-existent for a little bit there. When we had them up, they were originally in where the 3 boxes are at the top now.
Can you give me a kiss?
When they were smaller, we used to let people go in there and see them.
Good boy. I think that's your boy. I got his nose. Hey. Jackie, don't.
They'll want to go in. They'll jump. Their nails are sharp. That's something that people forget a lot about. They don't use them like cats do, where they're trying to scratch you, but they don't realize they're sharp. Like you got some nice clothes on. I don't want them to tear your stuff up. Oh my God, that was a boxer. I've been boxing for 15 years.
Oh God.
Mr. Boxer. Mr. Boxer had a split lip in 15 seconds.
Oh man.
Seneca jumped up. She didn't mean to do it, but she jumped
Yeah.
up and she went like this and got him with the back of her paw and right in the lip. He was pouring blood and he loved it. He was all happy about it. He was, oh, this is great. This is the best thing ever. It's like, you're the only person that's been injured going in.
Hello.
Yeah, they're supposed to be pretty big. Now, they do get bigger because they're from a different area. So where these guys grow up at, up in Canada,
No more.
they're expected to be able to take down elk and moose and a lot bigger prey. They'll work in a pack, so they'll go after the weaker ones. Just kind
No,
of like what
don't
we
do
talked
that.
about
Remember,
with bobcats.
it's
They're not
very
going to they're not going to attack something head on. They're going to try to find a weaker one or a smaller one that's kind of lagging behind the group. And, you know, farms in the area, they'll either bring out their show or food. And if they get a mean rabbit occasionally, or they have too many of them, they'll call them. And we had a 15-pound and a 10-pound rabbit.
Oh, wow.
Huge rabbit. Threw them over the fence for these guys. Figured they haven't had rabbit before. They're dead. They weren't alive. And we don't feed live. They had no idea what to do with them. They kind of poked around at them like, what do with this thing? And then they picked them up, and he grabbed the big one, the 15-pound one, and he just started running around. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. So he was uncoordinated, lanky, throwing his legs out all over the place, and then this rabbit is just flopping around like some kind of grotesque fruit or something out of its mouth. She was trying to get it, and then she remembered there's another one. She came back and grabbed that one, and then they did circles around this whole thing with rabbits hang out. It was a goofy but fun things to see them do, enrichment for them, and seeing them actually get out here and run around was super cool after they grew up in a smaller pen. So we get them from different areas. So it's what's one of the most common questions, like why aren't they all together? So usually wolf packs are family units. So you start mixing the different families, then you have some really bad dominance fights. He tried that early on and had a really, really bad one. So you saw Kiwa at the front. So she was medium sized. She's probably smaller than both of these guys right now. Now we have the smallest wolf that we have in the back is Sue. Your fingers don't go in the cage there. Now Sue, don't leave your hand right up against the fence, because one thing that Sue has started doing, she does little like grooming nips, and it kind of scares people. She's not actually biting, she just don't try to groom everybody like that.
It didn't hurt. She's not trying to eat you.
That's a good distance for him. He's got little lips.
Ew.
Yeah,